The best DSLRs still stack up really well against the latest mirrorless cameras, especially if you value old-school handling over the latest gadgets. Mirrorless cameras may be all the rage now, but DSLR design still offers a strong, chunky build, value for money, and a range of lenses that mirrorless cameras have yet to match. We've tested every DSLR on the market, and these are our favorites right now. One. Nikon D850. APS-C format DSLRs like those earlier in our list offer a decent compromise between features, quality, and price, but professionals will demand a step up in image quality, and that means a full-frame DSLR. We found the Nikon D850 an expensive camera, but with capabilities that put it in a class of its own. Its 45.7 megapixels resolution is spectacular. It has a 153-point autofocus system, and can capture images at 7 frames per second, or 9 fps with the optional MBD18 battery grip. Amazing video features also make it one of the best 4K camera choices around, though the newer Nikon D780 would be a better and cheaper choice for videographers. We know the Nikon D850 doesn't have the new Nikon D780's hybrid on-sensor autofocus technology, so its live-view autofocus speeds are relatively pedestrian, but we don't find that much of a handicap for measured professional photographic shoots, and it scarcely puts a dent in the D850's all-round appeal as arguably the best DSLR of all time for professional photographers. It looked spectacular when it first came out in 2017, and it looks just as good today. But cheaper. 2. Nikon D780. The long-awaited upgrade to the much-loved Nikon D750 certainly didn't disappoint us. The Nikon D780 includes the same on-sensor phase detection autofocus as the Nikon Z6 to give the same mirrorless live-view performance, a great advantage for stills photography and especially for video. Admittedly, Nikon was a bit slow off the mark as Canon has used its own dual-pixel CMOS AF in its DSLRs to do the same thing for years. However, the D780 doesn't just have advanced live-view AF. It also comes with a high-resolution tilting touchscreen display, 4K UHD video, dual US2 compatible memory card slots and continuous shooting speeds up to 12 fps in live-view mode. Combine that with its solid design and comfortable grip and you've got a camera that's an instant classic. We found that the D780, like other Nikon DSLRs, combines a well-thought-out design with a solid build and very satisfying handling. 3. Canon EOS 1DX Mark III. With the Canon EOS 1DX Mark III, the typically cautious company has released a camera packed with bleeding-edge tech, including deep learning AF, an optical smart controller, HEIF and HDR-PQ support, CF Express, 12-bit internal 4K RAW, head tracking and so much more. Canon has combined the advantages of DSLR and mirrorless to produce a hybrid body that can shoot according to what the situation demands. Offering the best of both worlds, with the sheer speed of an optical DSLR with the advanced accuracy of mirrorless, it's a true hybrid system that molds to the needs of individual professionals and individual shooting scenarios. Moreover, it marked a genuine turning point for Canon in terms of video, at long last delivering the uncropped 4K video that has for so long eluded the manufacturer. 4. Pentax K-1 Mark II. Pentax seems to soldier along in its own little bubble, seemingly unaffected by outside events, so we found the Pentax K-1 Mark II typically solid but unadventurous in its specifications when we reviewed it. It does have a tough, weather-sealed construction, and a highly effective sensor shift image stabilization system that works with any attached lens, unlike competing Canon and Nikon DSLRs, which do not have in-body stabilization. Better still, the 5-axis stabilizer can work in trick modes to deliver anti-aliasing correction, an increase in fine detail and texture based on pixel shift through multiple exposures, and even an astrotracer mode to avoid stars appearing to streak through the sky. With a 36 megapixels full-frame image sensor, the K-1 Mark II certainly gives you a lot of megapixels for the money, though we think the 33-point autofocus system feels dated, and live view autofocus is definitely pretty poor. For DSLR fans who want a big, solid, premium quality, and traditional camera feel, though, we think this camera still has strong appeal. 5. Canon EOS Rebel SL3 with EOS 250D. There are a few Canon cameras that are cheaper than the Canon EOS Rebel SL3, but they lack its features and build quality. You don't have to pay that much extra to have features such as a vari-angle touchscreen, a 24.3 megapixel sensor with Canon's dual-pixel CMOS AF technology which makes the autofocus in live mode really fast, just like a mirrorless cameras, and guided screen options to help you learn. It's also capable of 4K video, so if you think you might want to have a go at filmmaking, this may be better for you than the Nikon D850. Having used Canon's cheapest DSLRs, we think the EOS Rebel SL3 with 250D is definitely worth the extra. We test DSLR cameras both in real-world shooting scenarios and in carefully controlled lab conditions. Find out how we test and review on Digital Camera World.